please join me in congratulating Brigadier General Tammy Smith.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Out Equal, for this advocacy award. My wife, Tracey, and I, we sincerely appreciate this humbling recognition. I never could have imagined that the simple act of having Tracey pin a general star on my shoulder could have such an impact. From my perspective, I was only doing what countless military families before me had done, sharing my accomplishment with the spouse who had stood by my side during my service. It just so happened that I had a wife instead of a husband. Our experience as an out military family has been positive. Our peers in the Pentagon, they're welcoming and inclusive. When I met the Out and Equal family in Baltimore last year, I described that the Department of Defense was on record as noting the inequity between similarly situated couples in terms of inclusion and benefits. And I was comforted by the recognition of inequity, even though I could not extend benefits to Tracey. And I have an update. I'm pleased to report to you that the Secretary of Defense is on record as directing all military services to extend certain benefits, including military ID cards, to same-sex partners not later than October of 2013. It isn't all the same benefits that our straight peers can access due to the Defense of Marriage Act, but it does provide military families some meaningful additions, such as access to child care and youth programs, family center programs, shopping at the post exchange and commissary, and joint duty assignment transfers for dual military couples. Is this everything that opposite-sex married couples get? No, but I still remain as hopeful as I was when I was in Baltimore. And the reason I remain hopeful is that this is momentum. But I wanted to share with you that I almost wasn't here with you tonight. Prior to the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, I was becoming frustrated with my employer, the United States military. The closet was beginning to suffocate me. I was choking on my own silence. Personally, I felt such a disconnect between my personal values and the Army's institutional values. I was a good soldier, but I knew that push come to shove, being a good soldier simply wasn't good enough. Because, and let us not forget, under Don't Ask, Don't Tell, it wasn't a question that you could be fired or you might be fired for being gay. The law mandated that you must be fired. Many heroes, some of you who are in this room, were working to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell by protesting and carrying signs. People were outing themselves and forcing mandatory firing to call attention to this discriminatory law. Brave advocates were marching to the White House and literally chaining themselves to the fence so that the collective voices could be heard. People were stepping up to file lawsuits and testifying to Congress. And watching this unfold, I certainly didn't feel like an advocate. I felt like a silent prisoner, suffocating deep inside my closet. I wanted to chain myself to a fence. I wanted to testify. I wanted to hold a protest sign. But I was a soldier, not an activist. Consistent with the soldier's creed, I always placed the mission first. And as a soldier, this was just not my mission. And within this internal disconnect, seeing brave people such as yourself advance quality in the workplace while I faced mandatory firing simply for being who I was, I didn't believe I could serve any longer. With a heavy heart, in late 2009, I submitted my retirement papers. I had invested 24 years. It was time to leave the thing that I loved, wearing a uniform, being a soldier. And Tracey can tell you, my heart was heavy. But then in February 2010, the most amazing thing happened. I heard Admiral Mullen, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, tell the Senate those very compelling words that "Don't ask, don't tell" created a conflict between personal integrity and institutional integrity. It was as if he was speaking directly to me. And for the first time, a senior military leader, an executive in my own organization, acknowledged that my service was just as valued as anybody else's service. That it was perfectly okay to be exactly who I already was. And I cried. But more significant, hearing those words, I felt hope. And in that hope, I felt like maybe I should stay in the Army. I withdrew my retirement. And because I withdrew my retirement, I remained in the ranks and was selected for promotion to general officer. And the thing is that wouldn't have happened if I had not been given hope that my workplace could be inclusive. I don't really think that any of us come out to change anyone else. First and foremost, we come out, we push what might be traditional limits to be authentic to ourselves. We do it to be authentic for those we love. But when we do come out, what happens is we reveal something new that shifts perceptions and replaces stereotypes in the workplace. Others see us for who we really are instead of who they think we are. Because at the end of the day, everyone in my ranks, everyone in your workplace, regardless of their personal views, wants the same thing: mission accomplishment. Bottom line results from a quality workforce, return on investment. And just as Admiral Mullen's words were an inspiration to me, you in this room are in a position to give hope to others. Do not underestimate your personal power. Your example as an out employee or an executive, perhaps your words as an ally, will move some unknown LGBT employee to stay in the ranks and accomplish their mission, to withdraw their retirement. On my first day as a brigadier general on the job, I gave this advice to my staff. I told them, think before you speak. People will repeat your words. Pause before you act. People will model your behavior, both good and bad. In that vein, I humbly offer you these marching orders. Continue to live your authentic life. Say the words that you want people to repeat. Engage in the behaviors that you want others to model. Hold your head up and be proud, not only of who you are in your workplace or your community, but of who you are at your very core. While you may be honoring me tonight as a workplace advocate, in return, I acknowledge that it is you who are the momentum. You are contributing to your mission. You are changing the workplace. You are changing lives. And through your work, you quite literally changed my life. Thank you for this honor. Tracey and I will cherish this recognition.